Alright, you guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you guys how to slide cancel in Black Ops Cold War, and this is a movement that will take your game to the next level. First things first, go to your settings and you want to change a couple things here. So you want to go to your controller settings and you want to change your button layout to tactical. Now the reason why you want to change it to tactical, because as you can see on the map diagram below me, we switch our crouch and prone from our circle button to our right stick, and this is going to be very essential to performing the movement in a much more optimal way versus just having it on standard, where let me show you here. If I flip it back to default, we're gonna have to put our finger on the circle button. Now this is not convenient at all, because I would rather have my finger on the controller 100% at all times without having to remove it just to perform the movement. So that's why you want to have it on tactical, so that you don't have to waste your time doing that. Now the second thing that you want to do is you want to scroll down and you want to look for the auto sprint, and you want to have this on enabled. This will completely transform the movement, make it so much more easier, much more fluid, and much more natural. And it'll skip a couple steps to the old way to how to slide cancel. So this is the new way. And also at the same time, this will preserve the longevity of your controller instead of having to, jam down on that left stick all the time to sprint. And Call of Duty, we sprint all the time, and over time it will eventually break your controller and you're not going to be able to sprint, and we've all had that issue. And also it does preserve your thumbs from having those indents, from a long game session of Call of Duty. Of course, we don't want that as well. So this makes things so much easier. Auto sprint definitely is the wave. All right, so the first thing you want to do is obviously you want to sprint, right? So this is sprint. We're going to do this in a progression type of scheme here so that you can follow along as you're watching and you're not just jumping straight into it and getting confused. All right, so we're just going to sprint. We're just toggling the left stick forward. We're not pressing down on it. Makes things a lot easier. Hold on, let me kill this guy first so I can show you guys the movement. So that's step number one. Step number two is you want to slide. Sprint, slide. And you want to keep toggling that left stick forward as well. You don't want to take your thumb off of that. You just want to slide. Do this back and forth till you get used to it. Slide. All right, now once you've got that down, you're pretty much halfway there. All you got to do now is aim in. Let me kill this guy first. So sprint, slide, aim in. Bam. That's the slide cancel. Sprint, slide, aim in. And you want to do this in one fluid movement. You don't want to wait too long between pressing these buttons, because then it becomes slow and ineffective. It's going to defeat the purpose of why you should be slide canceling in the first place. Sprint, slide, aim in. Sprint, slide, aim in. Now, let me show you a different method. So method number two is probably the most common one that I personally use in game, and that is the sprint, slide, and then aim in. So let me show you what that looks like. So we're going to sprint, slide, aim in. Sprint, slide, aim in. Now, this is most effective around corners or when you're going up to a head glitch. Gives you a huge advantage versus the opponent. They're going to be dumbfounded of how you moved around that corner so fast. So you just want to find a corner and just get used to doing this. You don't want to do this all the time when you're moving around the map. This would be a bad idea if you're trying to navigate around the map. You want to do this in practical situations where it's going to give you an advantage. It's just so much more effective than just running around the corner and casually aiming down sights like this. So let me go ahead and do it in one more time. Just like that. The movement is so much faster now. From this angle, of course, it's not going to look that great or that impressive. But 100% from an opponent's point of view, they're going to be caught by surprise because of how fast you're sliding around that corner and then you're aiming in. So out of the two slide cancel methods that I just showed you, I would say that method number two, where you sprint and then slide and then aim in, is probably the most used one that I do. The first method is really, in my opinion, just better for when you're trying to, skip a gap such as this doorway right here. Let's say you know that there's opponents in this room. So of course you want the slide to be a little bit longer. So I'm just going to sprint, slide, and then bam, like that. Now, whereas if we were to do method number two, where we slide twice, I'm going to sprint, slide, bam. We stop like right here in the middle. And that's where it can be very beneficial in certain situations. So you have to recognize the time and place for the two different type of slide cancel methods. Long slides are just better for, moving between objects or gaps in the map so that you can avoid being shot by somebody. So another good example would be, let's say there's an opponent standing right here. You guys may have seen me do this a lot of times in my gameplays. So we're just going to move forward, and then we're going to double slide and then ADS. There's no need to jump or anything like that. That's what makes this method really easy to do. So you want to time this correctly as well. As soon as you get to this corner right here, that is when you want to initiate the slide movement. Remember, sprint, slide, slide, bam. Because then if you move too fast, like right here, you know, you might come up short and you're not going to be able to get a better shot. That's why it's important to go into a private match, practice these out, and do it until you feel really, really comfortable with it. So another thing that I do like to do is whenever an opponent runs around the corner that I'm not aware of was there, let's say, because, you know, we've all had that happen where we get caught by surprise. One thing that I like to do is I like to slide and then turn around. So I slide and then turn at the same time. That way I can shoot them right away before they even turn around. Like, imagine you run around this corner, right? And then the average person is probably just going to turn around like this. It's much more effective to slide and then turn. So turn, slide, bam. There you go. That was a little bit better. Just got to time it correctly. Of course, it all depends on your sensitivity as well. All right, one other thing that I do want to show you of how sliding can be very effective is just moving from one point to another really fast. So let's say maybe the hard point, it switched to the other end of the map here. So what I want to do is I want to sprint and then slide right off that ledge. You need to time this correctly in order to get it right. Just like that. I mean, look how much more effective that is than just, you know, mantling out. It's just so slow. So, of course, you want to move around the map as fast as you possibly can. Boom. Just like that. You want to jump, and then you want to slide. So, it's a little bit different. So, sprint, jump, slide. You can do this pretty much off of anything. Bam. Just like that. Just like that. Into the room. All right, next I want to talk about the jump shot. Now, the jump shot is not really as effective, in my opinion, in Cold War, because that's something that I used to do in previous Call of Duties, but I noticed in this game, you tend to lose a lot more gunfights doing it. But there is one method of jump shot that I will do that I find myself doing a lot more and winning a lot more gunfights. So this is pretty exclusively around corners only, and I know for a fact there's an enemy around there, or even if there isn't, it's actually good to do it just for good measure. And then what you want to do is you want to slide and then jump. So you want to approach the corner, slide, jump. So it's a little different. You want to run, slide, jump. So practice that first. Run, slide, jump, and then aim in until you get comfortable with it. So just like this. This is a lot more effective than just walking around the corner. And in some scenarios, it's better than slide canceling around the corner because from their point of view, you're going to be seen jumping out of nowhere, right? And you're already going to be aimed in. So let's try it again. The full motion, just like this. One thing I do want to clarify with the slide cancel is that you need to get used to doing it when you're going into points of entry or into new rooms. That way, you're a harder target to hit. The snap on the aim is just so much more effective. Get into a private lobby and just get those reps in, man. As soon as you get the hang of it, it'll be so much easier in the long run. That's also why it's very important to try to predict the enemy's movement. You know, if you hear their footsteps or anything like that, that's also a good little audio cue. Oh my god, my aim was off right there. Oh, that was perfect. Let's go around this corner as well. I think there should be another guy. See how fast that was? So much more effective. You know, try to play mind games with your opponent as well. Just because they see you, and then you just want to run around a different corner. Play Ring Around Rosie. Oh my god, what's going on, man? I'm tongue-tied. Oh my gosh, that was just beautiful. If you guys did find this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, I'd really appreciate a like on it. Make sure to subscribe if you are brand new around here. Join Turbo Nation today. Make it official. Turn on notifications, and I will see you guys in the next video. Let's go, baby. Yo, what's going on, guys? If you guys are trying to stay connected with me, drop me a follow on Twitter at RealTurboMan right here. Also, if you're on Instagram, I'm also on Instagram as well. Hit me up at RealTurboman_. And lastly, I am on Twitch if you want to catch me live, twitch.tv/TurboManTTV. Let's get it, baby.